You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
And right now at 7, our own Yana Hatola takes us live in the city of Joplin, where MoDOT is wanting to encourage people to buckle up and put your phone down.
Also, Vernon County authorities identify the man who led them on a multi-county chase through southwest Missouri.
And we've got freeze warnings for northeast Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas through 10 o'clock today, but things are going to warm up, at least for the next few days. We'll take a look at your forecast and even some rain chances coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thanks for joining us for the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. I'm Tanya Bach. Authorities identify the suspect who led them on a multi-county chase in southwest Missouri. Officers identified the suspect as 32-year-old Brenton Lee Ross, Kansas City, Missouri. They say he stole 3 vehicles, led police on chases in Vernon County, Barton County, and Cedar County. Authorities say Ross shot at a deputy and members of the Nevada Police Department. He's charged with a variety of crimes, including first-degree assault, first-degree trafficking drugs, or attempting and resisting arrest. You can find a full breakdown of events that led up to the arrest and a full list of charges filed on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Lawrence County, Missouri judge sentences a man for murder. Jamie Lee Godfrey of Marionville was convicted of second-degree murder in the death of a 50-year-old Jess Davis. Police found Davis's body inside his Marionville home in September of last year. Godfrey is sentenced to 25 years in prison. Joplin drivers can expect another detour this week. Starting today on West 4th Street east of Schefferdecker will be closed to complete a water line tap. Detours will be in place and the road closure is expected to last 2 days. Missouri Department of Transportation is taking an approach to driver and passenger safety. KOAM's Yana Hatola is in Joplin with more about this campaign.
Good morning. We're here in Joplin in front of the high school. So MoDOT, they have this challenge called Buckle Up, Phone Down. Missouri Department of Transportation wants to focus on personal responsibility. According to MoDOT, buckling seatbelt and putting cell phone down are the 2 of the most impactful actions a person can take to be safe while driving. They mention critical incidents are 23 times more likely to happen when texting and driving. The Buckle Up and Phone Down Day is October 21st, which is this Friday. Reporting live in Joplin, Yana Hatola, KOAM News.
And Yana, I have to ask, do you always buckle up?
Yes, always. The first thing when I sit in the car, I buckle up first.
Perfect answer. All right, we'll see you in a few minutes with your next interview. Thank you. Well, the midterm election is coming up in just 3 weeks. Something new is all Missouri voters must show a federal or state ID in order to vote. Officials say if you do not have a federal or state ID, then you must use a provisional ballot. That's for voters who arrive at the polls on Election Day and whose eligibility to vote is uncertain, allowing them to vote without it being counted until eligibility is confirmed.
We do have 2 weeks prior to the election of no excuse absentee voting, so you can come into our office here at Carthage, room 103, or the Joplin Courts Building, room 200, and vote absentee 2 weeks prior to the election for any reason.
Be sure to download the KOAM News app for all your election needs. You can also go to our website for election information at KOAMnewsnow.com/elections. The website will include resources for all the 4-state area, such as polling places, deadlines, dates, and you can even check to see if you're registered to vote. Once again, that's KOAMnewsnow.com/elections. Joplin Schools Foundation paid tribute to 5 outstanding Joplin Schools alumni. Joplin School Foundation welcomed the inaugural class of inductees into the Joplin School Hall of Fame. Foundation's Hall of Fame project was created to recognize and honor the achievements of outstanding alumni from Joplin, Lincoln, Memorial, and Parkwood High Schools.
Well, the foundation is a helping arm of the school system. We try to raise funds and for projects that maybe are not included in the current or the usual budgets for the school system.
Nominations will be accepted year-round, but will be gathered annually on May 1st for the coming year's induction ceremony. Nominees may be honored posthumously and must have graduated at least 25 years prior to their nomination.
All right, as we do every day at this time, it's time for a look at this day in weather history. And back in 1984, a thunderstorm produced an incredible 25 inches of rain in just 3 hours in Odom, Texas. One of the greatest short-term rains on record for the U.S. And while we need rain, we do not need that much across the area. We still have freeze warnings, northeast Oklahoma, northwest Arkansas through 10 o'clock this morning. Beautiful sunrise in Joplin. Look at the change of the colors in the sky. It just looks absolutely gorgeous, but the temperatures paint a different picture. 21 degrees under those clear skies in Joplin, so quite cold. 19 Fort Scott, 18 Lamar, 20 Columbus, 21 in Welch, and 23 in Neosho as we start the day. Now, we will warm up today. Some increasing clouds in the evening, mostly clear for the first half of the day. 57 for the afternoon high. And going into tonight, we'll have those partly cloudy skies dropping back to a low of 40 degrees. And a quick check of the 7-day. We warm up tomorrow to 72, 83 by Friday, 81 Saturday, some showers mainly on the Missouri side, possible late day Sunday, and then better thunderstorm chances Monday and 74 degrees before we settle into another fall-like pattern for the middle of next week.
Up next, one new medical study says over 1 million Americans with diabetes felt they had to ration their insulin.
And later, in the face of rising fuel costs, the president is set to announce a plan to help reduce gas prices. You're watching the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14.
In Health Watch this morning, life expectancy in the U.S. is still taking a hit due to the pandemic. And that's according to new research published in the journal Nature Human Behavior on Monday. Researchers found life expectancy in 2021 was still lower than expected in 29 countries, including the U.S. But while other countries saw some bounce back from 2020 losses, the U.S. actually saw its average number of years a person can expect to live further decline. Life expectancy at birth dropped every year for the U.S. between 2019 and 2021 from 79.8% to 77.4%. The U.S. had the third largest decline, despite it being a country with widely accessible vaccines. Researchers noted countries that had higher proportions of its population fully vaccinated experienced smaller deficits in life expectancy. Well, Black infants born after fertility treatments have a significantly higher risk of dying than white infants. That's according to a study released Wednesday in the journal Pediatrics. Research has previously shown that Black babies are about twice as likely to die as white babies before their first birthday. Now, this new study suggests that the disparity is even larger. Researchers found that babies are 4 times more likely to die when they're conceived by Black women via in vitro fertilization or other forms of assisted reproductive technology. The study conducted by researchers in Canada included data on more than 7.5 million babies born in the U.S. from 2016 to 2017. Of those births, over 93,000 were conceived by medically assisted reproduction. Racial disparities were also significantly larger among Asian and Pacific Islander and Hispanic women. Well, some diabetics are not as protected as they should be from the disease. According to a study published Monday in the Annals of Internal Medicine journal, 1.3 million people with diabetes ration the amount of insulin they took in 2021. Findings are based on nearly 1,000 diabetics who use insulin. Researchers say people who said they skipped doses or took smaller doses were considered to be rationing. And people who do not have health insurance were the most likely to ration, and that's according to the study. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says more than 37 million U.S. adults have diabetes, and it's the 7th most common cause of death in the nation.
We've still got freeze warnings for northeast Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas through 10 this morning, and this is the last day of freezing temperatures for the next several days, thankfully. We got a beautiful sunrise at 7th and Rangeline in Joplin, but not so beautiful temperatures, 21 in the city right now. We've got 19 Fort Scott, 18 in Lamar, 20 Parsons in Columbus, 21 Miami, and 24 in Anderson as we start the day. We'll have some increasing clouds late day, but we're mostly clear for the first half of the day, 57 for an afternoon high, and we'll have partly cloudy skies going through the night. Slow to cool off, thankfully, so we only drop back to a low of 40, which certainly beats the 20s that we've been seeing the last couple of days. Quick look at your weekend forecast. We really warm up. Mostly cloudy, 81 on Saturday. Mostly cloudy Sunday and 78, and maybe maybe a stray shower or two, mainly on the Missouri side on Sunday, but the rest of us should stay dry, but it won't stay that way for everyone for very long. We go through the rest of the week. We do get through a warm up. We have some partly cloudy skies here and there. Sunday by 9 a.m. we're close to 70 degrees and clear in Joplin. It's not until later in the day that we may see a stray shower or two possible. And then Monday, we've got a better chance of showers and thunderstorms across the area come late Sunday and early Monday morning. Quick check of the 7-day forecast. The warm up as promised, 72 tomorrow, partly cloudy, 83 on Friday, getting through the weekend. Better storm chances Monday, 74, maybe some showers on Tuesday and 68. And as we look even further down the road, fall-like weather settles right back in. So we get into the 40s, 50s, and eventually back to the lower 60s by Friday. And overnight lows go back up into the 60s, the 50s, and then they start flirting with the freezing mark as we head into the middle of next week. We got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this. Regular gas costs more than $5 or $6 a gallon in some parts of the country. It's according to AAA. Today, the president is set to unveil a plan to help bring down prices, as Amy Kiley reports.
You're going to hear from him talking about gas prices.
President Joe Biden is expected to announce 3 steps on that topic today. The first is the sale of 15 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve to be delivered in December. The White House says that would meet his promise to release a total of 180 million barrels over 6 months.
The president took historic efforts in the past several months to make sure that we brought gas prices down.
Biden's also expected to talk about shoring up reserves for the future. That involves a plan to buy oil for the SPR when prices go down. He's also poised to call on oil and gas companies to pass on sky-high profits to consumers. So far, they haven't shown signs of wanting to do that.
It's difficult, for people to deal with groceries where the price is increasing, where the price of gas is increasing.
The White House is trying to highlight Biden's actions ahead of the midterms. Gas prices dropped about 3 cents a gallon over the last week, but AAA attributes it to low demand as a possible recession looms. The broader trend is that gas prices are likely to keep rising. OPEC Plus is set to cut oil production starting next month.
Ultimately, what we have to do in the short term is supply has to meet demand so that prices continue to come down.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
We've still got freeze warnings this morning for northeast Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas through 10 o'clock. But as we've mentioned, thankfully, this is the last day of freezing temperatures that we'll have to deal with at least for the next few days. 7th range line, beautiful shot out there with that sunrise this morning, but not so beautiful temperatures unless you really like the cold. And if you do, this is your weather. 21 degrees under clear skies in Joplin. We've got 20 in Pittsburgh, 19 Fort Scott, Nevada, 18 Lamar, 23 Independence, and 21 in Columbus as we start the day. As we go through the rest of today, we will see increasing clouds in the evening. We're mostly clear, though, for the first half of the day. 57 for an afternoon high, so much better than what we've seen, and a much better overnight low tonight as well. Partly cloudy skies, slow to cool down to a low of 40 degrees, so not bad at all. Looking into the weekend, because it's never too early to make weekend plans, 81 and mostly cloudy on Saturday, 78 mostly cloudy on Sunday, and maybe a stray shower or two, mainly on the Missouri side, Sunday or early to late evening across the area, but then that will change, and we'll show you that in the future track. We go through the week. We get a warm up. We have some partly cloudy skies. We start the day Sunday, nice, clear, warm, near 70, and then it's late in the day again that we'll see those possibility of a stray shower or two, again, mainly on the Missouri side of things, most of us staying dry, but look off to our northwest, and that's where you can see our next weather maker as it brings in some shower and thunderstorm chances across the area as we head into early Monday morning. So we'll keep an eye on those for you, but definitely looking at some good rain chances. Those clear out, and they're going to leave us with a very fall-like pattern on the flip side of that, which we can see on the 7-day forecast now. So tomorrow, get up to 72 under partly cloudy skies, mostly clear Friday, 83. Get through the weekend, shower and thunderstorm chances Monday, 74. Then we look at Tuesday, 68, maybe a few lingering shower chances. And then after that rain gets out of here, check out these temperatures. Start at 49 Wednesday. We'll make it back to the lower 60s by Friday under partly cloudy skies, but our overnight lows go up into the 60s to near 70 before they drop back down near the freezing line, possibly below the freezing line by the middle of next week, thanks to this system that's getting ready to come through. And a quick look at the sunrise and sunset for today. The sun is set to rise here in about 11 minutes at 7:30. and it will set tonight at 6:36 this evening. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
It's time to honor today's four-state hero, Sergeant Clifford Baker. The native of Joplin, Missouri, served in the South Pacific from 1941 to 1946 as part of the 53rd Field Artillery, 6th Division, HQ Battery. This decorated veteran earned the Purple Heart and the Bronze Star. To Sergeant Clifford Baker, we thank you, today's four-state hero.
A Connecticut family is grateful for their neighbor's quick thinking after he jumped in to save the lives of their favorite loved one from a bear attack.
Eliza Gruzinski has the terrifying details.
He was not intimidated by anything or anybody.
Around 11 Sunday morning, Jonathan Digamus caught sight of a massive black bear as it made its way through the woods towards him.
When I saw him over there.
The bear made its way over to Jonathan's neighbor's house.
That's when I heard him screaming, help, help, help. And I heard the little 10-year-old boy screaming, bear, bear, bear. And once I heard that, I knew right away. I ran as fast as I could.
Using a crowbar, his neighbor tried to get the bear away from his grandson, but it didn't work. Luckily, by that time, Jonathan had showed up.
I grabbed the steel pipe that I found on the ground right over my neighbor's fence. I threw the bar at the bear, the pipe, and hit him in the head.
But the bear was not letting down.
I made a lot of noise. I yelled, I screamed. I was taking that pipe and hitting it on the ground, trying to scare him. He was not moving.
And while Jonathan was trying to distract the bear, his neighbor, who is in a wheelchair, worked to get his injured 10-year-old grandson inside.
He had puncture wounds on his foot. He was bleeding from his foot, and his back had scratches all over from the claws from the bear. And he also got bit on the back of the leg.
The bear was euthanized on scene and is being tested for rabies and other medical conditions. And with the bear population growing, bears are becoming more comfortable with people and a lot less likely to run away when they see people. So, what can you do if you're in a situation like this?
If you see a bear, make sure it knows that you're there. Make a lot of noise. Make sure that the bear is aware of your presence. Don't run away from it because sometimes that can trigger a chase response in a bear. So move away from it.
I have 4 children of my own, and I could only imagine. I was more scared for him than I was scared of the bear itself.
Oh, that'd be so scary for that little boy.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it'd be terrifying for anybody to be attacked by a bear, but especially a 10-year-old boy.
In case you're wondering, the boy was taken to the hospital for treatment of non-life-threatening injuries. He'll be okay.
Some good news there because, I mean, that could have gone a completely different direction.
I mean, he did have puncture wounds on his foot and stuff, so scratches.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah, definitely some injury, something he'll remember for the rest of his life, so for sure.
Scars from that bear attack. He can laugh about it someday.
Someday, years and years down the road, he'll look back and laugh. Probably not today, though.
Now, parents, you could use this, not saying the boy had anything on him like this, but you could use this as an excuse to get your kids to bathe. Oh, you might have that honey smell on you or sticky food,
Yeah, got to be careful. Got to be careful. You got to be careful if you're outdoors and you don't like the cold because it is very chilly across the area. So freeze warnings, northeast Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas until 10 o'clock this morning. Beautiful sunrise at 7th and Range Line. Some cold temperatures, though, to go along with it. 21 degrees under clear skies in Joplin. Cold temperatures across the area. 17 in Yates Center, 19 Iola, Fredonia, 20 Chanute Parsons, 21 in Neosho, and 22 in Anderson as we start the day. And as we go through the rest of today, we've got a nice warm day on tap. We'll be mostly clear for the first half of the day, and we'll see some increasing clouds for the evening with a high of 57 degrees. And then as we head into tonight, those clouds will break up a bit, giving us some partly cloudy skies, an overnight low of 40 degrees as we head through tonight, so much warmer than what we've seen the last couple of days. Heading into the weekend, 81, that's right, that's still coming. Mostly cloudy on Saturday, mostly cloudy Sunday, 78, and maybe a stray shower or two, mainly on the Missouri side. Otherwise, most of us staying dry, but the future track shows us where that's not going to be the case necessarily as we head into next week. Partly cloudy skies through the week. We really see that warming trend by 9 a.m. Sunday, near 70 degrees in the area. And then later in the day, those stray showers could be possible on the Missouri side. And then Monday morning, Early Monday morning, we got a system coming in, bringing more widespread shower and thunderstorm chances to us as we start the first part of the next work week. We are 72 tomorrow, 83 on Friday, storm chances Monday, and 74, 68 by Tuesday, maybe some lingering showers, and then a very fall-like pattern settles back in, the 40s up to the lower 60s by Friday. Overnight lows get pretty nice, close to 70 by Saturday night, and then we see them get right back down to freezing, if not below, by the middle of next week. We're back with more right after this.
4 States Most Watched News starts now.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. It's currently 7:29. A suspect is identified after a multi-county chase in southwest Missouri. Officers identified the suspect as 32-year-old Brenton Lee Ross of Kansas City, Missouri. They say he stole 3 vehicles and led police on chases in Vernon County, Barton County, and Cedar County. Authorities say Ross shot at a deputy and members of the Nevada Police Department. He is charged with a variety of crimes, including first-degree assault, first-degree trafficking of drugs, and resisting arrest. You can find a full breakdown of events that led up to the arrest and a full list of charges filed on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. On Tuesday, Lawrence County, Missouri judge sentenced a man for a murder. Jamie Lee Godfrey of Marionville was convicted of second-degree murder in the death of 50-year-old Jess Davis. Police found Davis's body inside his Marionville home in September of last year. Godfrey is sentenced to 25 years in prison. Midterm election is coming up in 3 weeks. Something new? All Missouri voters must show a federal or state ID in order to vote. Officials say if you do not have a federal or state ID, then you must use a provisional ballot, and that's for voters who arrive at the polls on Election Day and whose eligibility to vote is uncertain, allowing them to vote without it being counted until eligibility is confirmed.
We do have 2 weeks prior to the election of no excuse absentee voting, so you can come into our office here in Carthage, room 103, or the Joplin Courts Building, room 200, and vote absentee 2 weeks prior to the election for any reason.
Well, the theme of this year's Joplin Christmas Parade might stir up some sweet memories. The announcement came on Tuesday from Freeman Health System and city leaders. The theme, Christmas in Candyland. Oh yeah, it's intended to be reminiscent of the classic children's board game. That game has been around for more than 70 years.
When we think of Christmas, we often think of our childhoods, we think of Christmases past, and what is more iconic than Candyland? Most people have played it themselves as children or play it now with their children and grandchildren. So I think it will be a lovely reminder of home, of family, and all of the traditions we hold dear.
That parade will be December 6th along Main Street. It begins at 6 p.m. Funds generated by the parade will go to the Children's Miracle Network hospitals. Well, this morning we are discussing the midterm elections.
Voters will once again have a chance to make their voices heard when they go to the polls in 20 days.
While voter excitement tends to rev up to its highest pitch during a national election, there are plenty of issues on the ballot this year that should draw voters on both political sides to the ballot box.
Senate and House seats are up for grabs, as well as municipal and government seats. There are also plenty of local and state issues on the ballot as well that have a direct effect on you, your family, and your community. That brings us to our question for you today. Are you planning on voting? So far, 83% of you say you are, 7% say you're not, and 10% of you say you're not quite sure yet. Make sure you vote, at least on this poll. Make sure you do register to vote in the elections, and make sure you do participate. It's an important part of our democracy.
And for those of you that aren't unsure yet, maybe you need to learn more about what's on the ballot this election season. You can go to KOAMnewsnow/elections to find out more.
Yeah, we got all the resources and everything you need to know there. And of course, for today's poll, you can vote through our website, through the app, take part in discussion on our Facebook page. All right, quick check of the forecast. We've got a freeze warning still in effect, of course, until 10 a.m. for northeast Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas. Beautiful sunrise in Joplin, Missouri, albeit a bit cold. Clear skies, 21 degrees right now in Joplin, 17 Yates Center, 19 Iola, 20 in Pittsburgh, 21 Lamar and Carthage, 19 in Miami and Grove as we start this day. We're all going to get in on a little bit of warmer action. We'll have mostly clear skies for the first half of the day, then some increasing clouds into the evening, 57 for the the afternoon high. Those clouds will break up just a bit, giving us partly cloudy skies, and we'll drop back down to a low of 40 tonight. And looking ahead to the weekend, because like I said, it's never too early to plan for the weekend. 81 on Saturday, mostly cloudy skies, mostly cloudy on Sunday, and 78. We may see a stray shower or two on the Missouri side, but otherwise most of us staying dry on Sunday, but there's some changes on the way in that area as well. Partly cloudy skies each day throughout the week, otherwise not bad. We start Sunday pretty decent at 9 a.m. and then later in the evenings when we may see some of those stray showers again mainly on the Missouri side. And then take a look out to the northwest. That's where our next system is, bringing us a chance of showers and thunderstorms a little more widespread early Monday morning. So of course they'll be here, are expected to be here during the morning show, so we'll track those in the morning if any of them get a little rowdy. But right now we're just looking at some general showers and thunderstorms and some much needed rainfall. Taking a look at the 7-day. 72 tomorrow, partly cloudy. 83 Friday, mostly clear skies. Moving through the weekend, shower thunderstorm chances Monday, 74. 68 on Tuesday with some additional shower chances. And then after the rain moves through, fall-like weather returns. Partly cloudy skies. We eventually creep back up to the lower 60s by Friday, but our overnight lows go from near 70 way back down to right around or slightly below freezing by the middle of next week. We're back with more right after this. Still got that freeze warning as we've been talking about for northeast Oklahoma, northwest Arkansas until 10 a.m. this morning. And this is the last of the freezing temperatures for the next several days. Beautiful sunrise. In fact, as the Beatles would say, here comes the sun. Over at 7th and Range Line. Despite the sun, it is still cold right now. 21 degrees with a calm wind in Joplin. 19 Fredonia, 17 Yates Center, 20 Columbus, 21 Lamar, and 21 in Carthage as we start the day. And as we go through the day, the sun, of course, will rise. We'll have mostly clear skies for the first half of the day. At least I certainly hope it does. 57 for the afternoon high. And we'll have increasing clouds in the evening. And those clouds break up a bit, leaving us with partly cloudy skies tonight. We'll eventually get back down to a low of 40 degrees as we head through the night. And as we look at the 7-day forecast, 72 on Thursday, 83 on Friday, 81 Saturday, 78 Sunday. Mostly cloudy through the weekend, maybe a stray shower or two on the Missouri side on Sunday. And then we got a system coming in on Monday bringing us a better chance of some showers and thunderstorms across the area. Maybe some showers Tuesday, 68. By the way, the storms Monday are expected to be in the morning, so of course we'll track them for you. And you look at the long range, a fall-like pattern sets up after the rain moves through. We eventually warm back to the lower 60s by Friday, but our overnight lows start dipping down or slightly below the freezing mark by the middle of next week. In Consumer Watch this morning, the Biden administration is set to announce the sale of additional oil reserves to help counter market pressures created by the OPEC Plus decision to cut oil production targets. President Joe Biden is expected to announce the sale of an additional 15 million barrels from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve in September. It's the latest step in the White House's plan to balance global markets and dampen soaring gas prices. The action would fulfill the administration's announcement in March to release a historic 180 million barrels from the SPR over a 6-month period to counter soaring energy prices triggered by Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Netflix apparently has a plan in place to crack down on password sharing starting next year. Streaming giant shared more details of its plan during Tuesday's earnings report. The company says the 2 features it started testing earlier this year to combat shared accounts will be broadly implemented in 2023. Back in March, Netflix started testing extra member and profile transfer features in Chile, Costa Rica, and Peru. The profile transfer feature allows users to transfer their current profiles to a new paid account. For those who want to continue to share their account with family and friends, the extra member option allows users to create sub-accounts under their main account for an additional fee. No word on what that fee would be, but during the testing, it cost around $3 in Costa Rica. Well, someone plans to pay nearly $40,000 for a new iPhone that's 15 years old. The LCG Auction House auctioned off a first-release 2007 iPhone over the weekend. The smartphone is the first model of iPhones to ever be introduced to the world back on January 9th, 2007. It was still in its original box and factory sealed. 15 years ago, the device retailed for around $500 to $600. The auction house expected it to go for at least $30,000. Sunday's winning bid was exactly $39,339.60. We'll be back with more after this, but first, let's take a look at the market prices before the opening bell.
Missouri Department of Transportation is taking an approach to driver and passenger safety. KOAM's Yana Hatala is in Joplin with more.
Good morning. We're here at the Joplin High School with one of the students, Isabella Yast. Welcome.
Hey, welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, so we're discussing about this MoDOT's not new challenge. It's been going for a while. It's Buckle Up, Phone Down challenge. How important is this for you that they are talking about putting the phones down and also buckling up while driving?
I think it's a major thing. In my generation, phones are so relevant and people struggle to put them up while driving, so this is a really big thing and needs to happen. So.
Yeah. Do you actually drive yourself, or are you usually on the passenger seat?
I normally drive myself, so.
Yeah. What kind of habits do you have when you go in a car and start driving? Like, what all do you do to make sure that you're safe?
I try to put my phone as far away from me as I possibly can. I put it on silent, and then I also have my phone Bluetooth in my car, so like if somebody's calling me, I don't have to pick it up and answer it. I can answer it from the car, and so just try to minimize that amount of touching the phone as I'm driving.
Oh yes, that's important. How safe do you feel when you're driving with others, maybe like your friends? How do you think they are being safe enough, like being a high school student?
I think sometimes they try to be as safe as they can, but high schoolers love to play music, so they're always changing the music on their phone. So sometimes I'm like, maybe put the phone away and let's drive a little better, but for the most part I think they do a pretty good job.
Oh yes. So earlier I was talking with Sergeant Andy Blair about the same topic. What do you think maybe the police or the other people could say to high school students, like your age students, about this, like to try to make them stay safe?
I think some of them are kind of unaware too, so maybe making them more aware of the situation and how bad it is and how it needs to change. So.
Yeah. Have you actually been hearing about accidents that have been happening because of texting and driving yourself?
You hear about them all the time, and it's, the sad story, and you're like, you couldn't prevented that by not texting and driving, so.
Yeah. How does that make you feel like that this can happen like so quickly? Once you just look at the phone, something can happen. How does that make you feel?
It's crazy that you can just look down 1 minute and then the next minute, you're in a wreck, and, so.
Is there something that you do yourself to encourage other people to the safe behavior?
I just encourage people to, if they need to talk to somebody, they pull over and take care of that, or, like I said, that they could answer hands-free on the car and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Do they actually talk about this here in Joplin High School to all of your kids?
Yes, they try to talk about it as much as they possibly can, so.
Okay, well good. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
We're here in Joplin High School. I'm Yana Hautala with KOAM News.
All right, well, official Buckle Up, Phone Down Day is coming up on Friday, October 21st, when everyone's going to try to, more than ever, put the phones down and buckle up. Thank you so much, Yana. We'll be right back. Well, Boston businessman and billionaire is giving away $1 million a week, and he says he's doing it every week for a year.
So how does he choose who gets the money? Paul Burton explains.
We're blessed. We're very fortunate. And our belief is that we should extend those good tidings as deeply into the community as possible.
Rob Hale has deep pockets, but even a bigger heart. He runs Granite Telecommunications in Quincy, and for the past year, he and his wife Karen have been on a very unique mission of gifting $1 million a week to small nonprofits for 52 weeks straight.
There were so many vital, impactful, smaller organizations in our communities that needed help, and let's give a gift of $1 million a week, 52 weeks in a row.
The impact of their giving is being felt throughout the state, including former New England Patriots lineman Joanne Druzzi, who runs the Joanne Druzzi Foundation, which supports cancer patients.
To receive the phone call from Rob out of the blue and tell me and my wife that he loves what we do.
He invested $1 million, right, into an endowment for the Joanne Druzzi Foundation. And that's a major gift.
Many of the $1 million donations are going towards endowments to help nonprofits like South Shore Stars sustain itself.
It meant the world to us. It also has allowed us to ensure that we have funding for this coming year.
The Hale family has already gifted tens of millions of dollars to local hospitals and institutions. But for most of these smaller nonprofits, this is the single largest gift they've ever received, and many have been around for more than 20 years. For Sue Chandler at Dove, Domestic Violence Ended, the Hail gift will directly impact victims and survivors they serve.
This is absolutely our biggest gift ever, and we're looking for the possibility of a new building.
For Hale, whose photo is now on the cover of Forbes magazine, he knows the need is endless, which is why he and his wife enjoy giving so much.
When you realize that you're helping other people who then are going to help other people, it makes you feel so good. To me, it's a gift that we actually get.
I think we could, everybody could use a little help, so.
Oh, yeah. We could spread it out here. All right, the Hales wrote their first endowment check in March to the New England Wildlife Center.
And that provides veterinary care to injured and orphaned wildlife.
That's cool.
We've got freeze warning continuing for northeast Oklahoma and northwest Arkansas through 10 this morning. Beautiful sunrise this morning. And it will eventually start to warm up, but not yet. 21 degrees in Joplin under clear skies across the area. And we've got still some chilly temperatures out there. 17 in the Yates Center, 19 Iola, 42, not yet. 22 Fort Scott, Nevada, 20 in Pittsburgh, and 21 in Neosho. And as we go through the rest of the day, we'll have mostly clear skies for the first half of the day and some increasing clouds heading into the evening, ultimately reaching a high of about 57 degrees. And then those clouds will break up a bit, giving us partly cloudy skies into tonight. We'll drop back down to an overnight low of 40 degrees. And heading into the weekend, 81 and mostly cloudy on Saturday, 78 and mostly cloudy on Sunday, and maybe a stray shower or two mostly on the Missouri side. The rest of us should be pretty dry, but that will change. We'll take a look at that on the future track. We go through this week, we had some partly cloudy days, warmer temperatures for sure, starting out pretty decent on Sunday morning, and then Sunday evening we may see those stray showers out in the Missouri side of things, and then it's Monday morning that we could see some shower and thunderstorm activity be a little more widespread with the system coming in from our northwest, so we'll keep an eye on that for you as well. 7-day forecast. Let's get through the next couple of days as well. 72 tomorrow, so absolutely gorgeous. 83 on Friday. Going through the weekend, shower and thunderstorm chances Monday morning, 74. 68 Tuesday with some possible showers as well, and then a fall-like pattern after that, 49, 50, 62, but our overnight lows go from all the way up to near 70 back down to at or even slightly below freezing by the middle of next week. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Welcome back to the KOAM Morning News on Fox 14. Here's what's happening today. It's beginning to look a lot like winter in parts of the Midwest. Ooh, too soon for that here. Some communities in Michigan got more than a foot of snow, and freeze warnings are in place all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. Meteorologists say a cold front is to blame, and the temperatures could set new low records throughout the nation's midsection today and tomorrow. Newly obtained body cam video from the Tampa Police Department shows the arrest of several people accused of voter fraud, all of them ex-felons. A 2018 state constitutional amendment restored the right to vote for most ex-felons, except those convicted of murder or felony sex offenses. But there's confusion. Some of the arrested ex-felons say the state allowed them to register to vote and vote. And Russian airstrikes have knocked out power and water to hundreds of thousands of Ukrainians. Ukraine's president says a third of the country's power stations have been destroyed in the past week. He's urging citizens to conserve electricity and to brace for a tough winter.
And we've got that freeze warning for parts of northeast Oklahoma. Still continuing until 10. Cold temperatures across the area. And as we go through the day, though, we will start to warm up. 57 degrees for the afternoon high under partly cloudy skies. And we'll have increasing clouds this evening, and they'll break up and give us partly cloudy skies heading into tonight. 40 degrees for the overnight low. And a quick look at the 7-day forecast. You can see where we get temperatures warming up. 72 tomorrow, 83 on Friday, and 81 Saturday. Maybe a slight rain chance or a stray shower on the Missouri side Sunday evening, and then better thunderstorm chances Monday morning and 74.
Right, well, Hollywood trailblazer Anna Mae Wong will be the first Asian American on U.S. currency.
Now, over the decades, she rose to fame and became the first Asian American film star in Hollywood. Wong talked herself into the first movie role when she was only 14 years old. Her first leading role was in The Toll of the Sea in 1922 when she was 17. Wong died in 1961. The Wong Quarter will be the 5th release this year as part of the American Woman Quarters program. It calls for 5 new coins each year from 2022 through 2025. U.S. Mint is expected to create more than 300 million Wong Quarters.
Pretty cool.
Very cool. An absolutely great way to honor women in America and those that are important to our history.
Very neat. And a little bit of knowledge you may not know about the film industry as well.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a lot you may not know here and there. So, and of course, we got the cold temperatures, but it'll warm up today. It's going to be even better tomorrow. And then, you know, we get some rain chances in here, which we absolutely need. But of course, they're going to be coming, they're expected early Monday morning. So we may or may not have a busy morning. There's still a lot of uncertainty if the storms are going to get a little nasty. But one way or the other, we're expected to at least get some rain chances.
Yeah, we're calling that our spring showers before it gets back to winter.
Yeah, because then we cool down after that. So it's going to be a nice roller coaster ride. Well, thank you so much for letting us put the good in your morning. We're back with more news and weather today at noon.
Have a great morning and an even better day.